Welcome to Step Up Unfiltered, another great edition in Dubai with extraordinary individuals tackling life's biggest challenges and bridging division. Now, we have got an amazing guest today. I guess I haven't even met before as well, which is crazy. If you could tell the audience your name, age, your occupation, and a fun fact that they may not know.
Wow, going straight into the numbers.
Of course. Yeah.
My name is Ayda. I'm 41. Yeah. And what was the last one?
So, fun fact and occupation.
A fun fact. I used to be a cheerleader for like a famous rugby, basketball, and rugby union and rugby league.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
my-
There is definitely a difference.
Yeah, total different
Yeah.
career path.
So, what got you into that?
So I was always very much a performer, and I used to back in the day, we used to watch video clips and we used to pause and record and learn the choreography, and I was always performing. And then I loved dance, so I did ballet, I used to do ballet, jazz, all of hip hop, every type of dance. And I was I'm very creative when it comes to that. And then I did take on that career as I was going through school and I was going through uni. I was still doing all of that. I did a lot of background dancing for video clips. And and I pushed it as far as you could go. But when I was living in Australia, there's not a big industry. So all the friends that I did have moved overseas for their careers. But I just didn't feel, I've always been really motivated by success and having a lot of independence through money. And it just didn't feel like there was enough money in it. I had that fork in the road, and I actually got I was working with private schools and doing a lot of, I don't know if you know what Rocker Stedfords are.
No.
They're the school musicals and they go into competition against schools. Okay. So I actually used to be very good at choreography.
Okay.
And I choreographed all of these things. So I got offered a role with a company that paid me as a full-time dancer to go around and do this and teach.
Wow.
And then I was doing that on the weekends and stuff, getting paid. So it was the best time of my life because I literally got to hang out with my best friends and get paid.
Yeah, that does sound mad. Was it being honest, was it a hot girl thing when you were younger? Because that's cheerleading. We always oh, okay, that's where all the baddies are going to be.
No, so
Get to go to all the frat parties.
No, everyone thinks that we hang out with the players. No, well, I was friends with them, but it wasn't I don't know, this is just talking about our group, because our group of friends, we didn't really drink much. We weren't really we all just loved dancing. Okay. And we were all kind of goody nerds in the back.
To see answers.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, even everyone, but I know all the players from the greats, back when I was playing.
Yeah.
But it was never like that. I don't know, it was crazy, but we'd go out, we were at all of their functions and things like this, but we had a quite separated professional kind of thing, but it wasn't the hot girl thing. We just loved performing. And we got to go to all the venues, grand openings of things like huge cars, like Cohen saying, get paid to travel and dance and be at clubs, but not be paid and not actually have to do, pay to be clubbing. So we got paid to be at the venue. So it was the best time. We honestly.
Exactly what you want to do in your younger years, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was the best. We did all of the car races. Honestly, that was the best time of my life with all my best friends. But fork in the road was when I got offered that full-time role. And it was I just started my career in finance as well. And because I was always working as contract, I never had a PAYG role in the finance company. It was just contracting. I could still balance both.
Okay.
And then it was okay, this is a full-time position in an industry I love, but where's the cap versus this where I work hard, get paid more.
Yeah.
So I decided to go down the finance arm.
Nice. And we'll delve into a lot more of that later.
Yeah.
What's your occupation as well? You didn't get to that point.
So at the moment, I've just sold and exited multiple companies, and now I'm just a strategic advisor to elite performers like business entrepreneurs and professional athletes. On the other end, I'm a full-time investor and wealth creator. So I also have a private fund where I'm investing in businesses. We do short-term funding and buy a lot of assets like property and crypto. And So, I mean, I'm I would say, investor entrepreneur.
Wow.
Yeah.
So much to delve into.
Yes.
So let's take it back from the beginning. So we go in nice chronological order.
Yeah.
So tell me about early life, because you were born in Iran. What was that like?
Well, if we turn on the news right now.
So, that's right. So has this been going on since to my naive? So I think I'm quite good at geopolitical stuff. But
Okay.
I don't know.
Probably better than me. Yeah. So, well, the Shah got kicked out. So I think it was 1980, 86, 87.
Yeah.
So pre that, Iran was very free. People, like, if you look at old photos, it looks like Paris. Like, women wore what they want. The culture was like flourishing and everyone was happy. And, you know, then basically what happened is the Shah, which is the king, they overturned the government and they placed the new regime in, which they'd made a lot of promises, but what turned out was what ended up happening was control. And so they used religion to control people. Okay. And I think that's just bad, but basically they created all these things that if you don't do this and you don't do this, then you're going to go to hell and you're going to have...
So what was the main religion? Was it still Islam, but then this was like Sharia law, or have I just got that completely?
Look, so it moved into the like Islamic, but more... I don't like to talk about it in religion because I think like there is really good things about the religion, but it's how they manipulate. The extremeness of how they manipulated and used that to control. So like men and women don't have rights. You have to do this. You have to cover. You can't show your body. You can't go to the pool with men and women. Like everything was separation. Women couldn't have an education. So it was like instead of like for me, history has always like. In a lot of cultures, they actually worship women because, you know, you think of Mother Earth or the woman is the one that carries and brings life. So what happened was, I mean, I don't want to get too deep into my opinions around it, but they tried to push down the power of the feminine.
Compress.
Compress. Because when you go through history, there's a lot of fear that comes with the power that women hold, right? This is going deep, right? So, so when we talk about that, it's like women became obsolete to men. And there's other things culturally that weren't good, but insane amounts of unfair treatment towards humanity. Like, I think it's just a humanity of, you know, if you have a difference of opinion, you were just completely, you know, you didn't have rights. So that was around that time. And then that regime's been going on and getting worse and worse and worse. And there's been radicalists. And for many times, even years ago after that, like years prior, where the girl decided not to wear the outfit and she got killed, that was one time they tried to turn the government.
Sure.
And it didn't, you know, the whole world eyes on Iran and it didn't proceed. But now it's all happening, and the plan is to bring the son of the original Shah back in.
Okay, nice.
And this is what's kind of happening to free Iran.
Sure.
Now, what people don't understand is, because we come and we have grown up, like I grew up in a country where we had rights, and, you know, COVID was a really good example of how in Australia, people did not stand up to the government and were completely stripped of the rights.
Yep.
And people like us that came from countries where we left and saw what was happening were like, what is everyone doing? Actually, the power is in the people.
You've actually got an insight knowledge.
Yeah, and the manipulation around fear and death, you know, even my own parents were like conforming. And I kept saying to my dad, like, don't you remember we left a country like this? Can't you see what's happening? And it was so much fear through news. Like we weren't allowed to even cross states.
Yeah.
Like I had to close down businesses. I had to close down property. Like it was
nuts. It was
nuts for a lot of people. And
I think a lot of people did see through, like I saw through it from the start.
I did too.
But then it's like, what can you do if you don't want to go out there and get arrested and ruin your life? That's the problem.
Yeah. And I waited right till the end, till they said in Australia, you can't even go to a cafe or restaurant or hotel. And we had one of our biggest events. And they were asking for all of the certificates. And I was the owner. And we'd already spent money on this event. And I was like, fuck, route. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm sorry.
No, it's
I
good,
have
it's
to,
good.
I have
Step
to
up
go.
unfiltered.
I have to go, and I just right at the end got the first vaccine, which I completely regret.
Honestly, I got 2 to go to
Oh.
Thailand with my ex-missus. We had to, and I knew how important it was to her. And I was able to get a sabbatical from work just because work was so slow.
Yeah.
And they still paid me, shout out my old job, which is good. And yeah, I had to bloody travel. And it was so jarring. I mean, you never know what the long-term effects of that's going to be.
I already know because
they've already said about pregnancy of women.
Yeah, I've already had a lot of things happening. Like I just randomly have bruises. Like you could just go like that and I'll get a bruise. Seriously, like I have bruises all the time. And
Really?
I woke up after the vaccine and I had a massive bruise. Like I'd gone down a hill on a skateboard and stacked it and like ripped half. And I went to the doctor and I'm like, I woke up like this. And I said, I think it's from the vaccine. And as soon as I said that, she's like, no. And I'm like, you need to run tests. She's like, no. And I had to make complaints. So there's a lot of things that has happened to me, especially the brain fog.
Yeah.
Yeah, and things like that.
I
But going back to the Iran thing.
That was a good tangent, man. That was a good
tangent, yeah. Going back to the Iran thing. So now what they're trying to do is they're trying to bring in the prince of the original, so one of the sons. And this was all kind of planned to come in. But what people don't realize is the generation of people are going to the streets willing to die.
I know.
Do you understand? Like people, like in Australia, I'm getting goosebumps. In Australia, like we don't even know what that would feel like to go, screw this. Yeah. I am willing to sacrifice my life for the future generation. Do you know, like young people, Gen Ys, are hitting the streets going and believe, like that is so amazing. You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine, like, anywhere?
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
A little bit of tangent. So, why do you think that? I mean, for me, in my opinion, you might disagree with this. I think feminism in the West has gone way too far.
Yes.
And now it's just a massive like fuck men culture. Men are evil, men are the devil, blah blah blah. Because of a patriarchal society that didn't even benefit all men. It benefited a certain type of man. But why are not more where? I mean, in England and America, yeah, you might say something pretty much from a legal side of things, everything is fair, right? And from even a career side of things as well.
Yeah.
Why are not more efforts placed on countries where there's actual pure misogyny, as opposed to here where there's not?
Okay, so this is where my English is my second language comes in. What does misogyny mean?
Have you not heard that? So
probably not.
How, like basically men
men are bad or men have power?
No, so men being sexist towards women.
In the workplace or generally?
Generally.
Okay, so the question again?
So the question is, in my opinion, feminism has turned into modern feminism, which has gone way too far.
Yeah.
In the West, why are they trying to force issues that aren't really there a lot of the times, as opposed to going to countries or trying to speak up for countries like Iran, where there actually is huge issues with sexism and women's rights and whatnot?
Okay, so like we call it hypofeminism, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you could go down that with the whole woke movement as well. So this is all like, for me, it's manipulation, and it comes from the powers above. And it comes through, and it's fed through media, and these things are like planted and forecast, broadcast, so people think there's an issue.
Yeah,
Disruption. And the whole agenda is separate and control.
Yeah, right.
So if you'd have to go really back into like where the core was, and I'm not trying to take away from people that have genuinely had issues, like people that have had harassment, assault,
of course,
all of these things. I'm talking about people that are just trying to say it's completely unfair and this whole women stepping. So like, I believe there's a place for women and a place for men. In my career, I had more support from men than I had from women. Okay. And I still would say that's very true, but there is the minute girls and women that you can find that will support you. And they're generally people that are already successful. But most women are naturally wired somehow of jealousy, or maybe that's like insecurity. But men support like men have supported me, but I've also had traumas where I've been, abused.
Yeah.
So I'm just talking from a workplace point of view. Now, I think that the hyperfeminism and like that women need to do everything and all that. And I've moved through my career having to do that, like having to survive, having to create my own money because that wasn't a choice. 100% if I had a partner or a fam, like, the masculine energy in my life that was taking care of me, it wouldn't have been that way. But the problem is I didn't. So I had to do it for survival. And then I had to learn what it would be like to be led and taken care of. But I've always been traditional in the sense that like women, you have a role as well in the home, and men, you have a role. The men should be providing. And no matter how much money I've made, this has been my, my thought process. Women should take care of the home. And I get we have to work and things, but like, as a woman, you should know how to cook. You should know how to clean. And there is so many women that have no idea how to cook. And this blows my mind. Like that women have just lost like the core feminism traits. And I'm not saying women need to be at home in the kitchen, all that. I believe that like the feminine is holding space. The feminine is coming from like a grounded version of like the motherly nurturer, right? And you can do that even in a workplace. And when I moved into that shift and that transition where I was leading from the masculine and I had to be the bad guy in my business.
I would say in business you'd have to show more masculine.
Yeah, but I've learned I don't have to. Like I thought I had to, and this is all through healing and growing and realizing how to encapsulate the feminine power in the workplace and be respected. So it's how you speak, and how you listen. So women have lost, most women that move into the hyperfeminism and like being more masculine have lost more of their intuition because they're working from the mind.
So this is what I always say when I've met masculine women. I always say like it's because women always like to say, "Oh, you are actually probably able to be on this business women."
Yeah.
Like to say like men can't handle me, and I'm like, it's not the fact that men can't handle you. It's usually the fact that men just don't want to be with a masculine woman. But if you want to be with a masculine man, which you probably do as a masculine woman, you'll trample all over a feminine man.
Yeah.
Which masculine women are like, yeah, that has happened. I have made that mistake before. It's like, well, why is a masculine guy that's doing well in life gonna go for a masculine woman where you can just go for we don't want to date ourselves, do you know what I mean?
100%. Well, that's the you have to have the equal yin and yang.
Exactly.
If you're already operating out of yang, you can't. One person has to move. And if most women end up with these more feminine men that are more masculine women, because it has to be polarity. And so for women, if you want to meet more, we all want to be with more of a man that leads, well, you need to let the man lead. So I think it's just about energies, like, and it's not about like, for me, it was like, the intimidation, or men will be intimidated by success. And the thing is, I actually don't even talk about what I do. Like I could meet people 10 times and they're still like, so what do you do? And I dodge it so many ways.
Yeah, you even dodged it.
Yeah. Because I am
trained.
not, you know what? It's because I am not I'm not what I do. I am who I am.
Yeah,
and like,
amazing.
And, in Dubai, like when I go to events, I actually really struggle with how people go straight in on what do you do? And it's like, I'm so much more than what I do, but here's what I do. Like let's go around that, because like what I do is an identity that's attached to a profile, but who I am is who you should be doing business with.
Oh, that's a clip there.
Yeah, you want
that's
that clip?
That's a clip right there.
I love these nuggets that I throw out.
That is a clip.
Yeah.
That was a good clip. That's a good clip. Right.
So going back to the feminism,
back.
is that what I've learned is to tap in. So, I don't know if you know about the three, like they talk about the three brains. So you've got your head, your heart, and your gut. And there's three brains. So your gut is one of the biggest. Yeah.
No, second brain.
I don't know which is first and second. Okay, yeah. It's just all connected.
Because it's all about. Yeah, I've learned about
gut brain. Yeah, but the gut is really what controls a lot of our feelings. Correct. Mm-hmm. Heart is where you're coming from, like the genuine space of what you feel, and the brain is operating from like that, you know, the more structure. Women in the masculine, to be operating in the masculine, are operating more from the head brain, which is what men do. They're all like black and white. Yeah. But women in their feminine feel.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, feel. But when you're moving into the masculine, it's actually way more powerful as a woman to come from the feminine when you're in business, because you like when you're connected and you're centered with all three, you can feel things before they're even happening. Like I've been in meetings with my team and I'm talking to one of my staff and I don't even know how. This is crazy. But I was like, is everything okay? Like randomly. Like we're not even talking about that. We're talking about work stuff. And I'm like, are you okay? Something happening with your family? And she's like, starts crying. Yeah, my grandma's really sick. I'm really close with her because she lost her mom. And I was like, wow, like, you know, like where that just brought down all the barriers and we were able to work through that. Because like at the end of the day, you're dealing with people.
Yeah. And
you know?
I can see how you can be successful as a woman in business. Like my ex was, for example, a beautician. If you have your own business and you've got loads of clients, you don't have to step into a masculine frame.
Yeah.
You're dealing with women all day,
Yeah.
talking to women all day, which I know drains the social battery.
Yeah.
So I do see how it's done, or how you could be in HR, which is very much all about talking, or even as a detective, even in the police force. Actually, I might tell you more masculine. You're literally around guys all day in that type of that frame of mind. But then you're obviously brought in a lot of time for the speaking role, how to, you know, stop a guy or a girl doing an absolute madness.
Yeah.
But I just think what ends up happening is women usually step into, think they have to be masculine, think they have to fight the world. And then where they go wrong is they drag it back home. Like my mum does a really good job of that. My mum is a beast of a businesswoman. And at home, I mean, she's OCD and a bit annoying, but I love you. But no, like apart from that, like there still is that like masculine and feminine between my mum and my dad.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I do think we sometimes go too far. Because I've dated people that are like, oh, the man has to do this, the woman has to do this. It's like in a successful marriage, and obviously my parents married for 30 years. You don't think my mum's sometimes taken out the bin. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. Do you know what I mean? My dad's cooking. My dad's actually a better cook. Do you know what I mean? It's not like he has to do this as a man. Like you just both chip. Yeah, you both chip in together.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
It's a partnership and like energy. Yeah, but I think for me, what I do is I have like I shift. So I consciously have like little habits that I do to shift out of like work Ayda to home Ayda.
Because you've done the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, you have to. And I think both people have to. Because you could be really stressed and on edge and have this massive fight or something with your boss or whatever. You don't want to bring that energy in. So it's like just a couple of deep breaths or something that you can do, gym like session. Gym, walk outside. And I like use scents, like the senses. So I have light the candle. It's a smell. It's, you know, little things like shifts. Okay. And cooking for me is the biggest. Yeah, I love that.
Cooking for the old man. So we might as well skip to this bit. No?
Yeah. I dodged it, didn't I? I'm good.
So are you single?
Yes.
Okay. How do you find dating in Dubes?
A few months in, I think 3 or 4 months for me. 3 months. I don't know. I need to work it out. I think it's interesting. So I think when I first moved here, the girls that I know, like that are very attractive, and they were like, "Oh, you're gonna have so much trouble in Dubai dating." And I was like, "That's your perspective. Do not bring your story into my life."
Okay.
And I was like, "Why?" And they're like, "There's just so many women. There's more women in Dubai than men." And I was like, "Okay."
Can I just quickly butt in?
Yeah.
Right. My boy, who's got a missus. And his missus literally tries to tell me like, oh, there's 7 to 1 girls to guys in Dubai. Complete and utter lie. It's actually the other way around. It's like 3 to 1 guys.
Okay.
I think it might be because when you're on a night out, you see quite a lot of girls. But it's just the fact that maybe they're, I don't know, used to situations where there's just a lot more guys generally. But no, there's actually way more guys in Dubai, generally speaking, than women.
Yeah, like I haven't noticed that.
I think it's just the fact that the women are hot.
there's a lot of beautiful women because you got to think of where we are.
Yeah, exactly.
We're in the Middle East.
It's like in Miami, and it's a nightlife place as well.
Yeah, but like you're in the Middle East, like a lot of the most beautiful
Of course,
women
of course.
are like
Yeah,
surrounding this
That's
area, and then you've got the Russians and
very true.
so,
yeah, a lot of Russians.
Yeah, so there's definitely like a lot of beautiful women. I
There
do
is.
see that. So they were like coming from the point of like the competition and the women. I'm like,
That's
yeah,
facts.
but you know what? Like beauty is surface level. Like,
I would disagree with that. I'm
What do
sorry,
you mean?
guys, like I know women are attracted to a lot more things.
No, but I mean that's fine. You need to be attracted.
Okay.
But after you have the conversation, are they still hot? You know what I mean?
But some guys, we're very simple compared to women. Right?
Okay.
You guys are way more complex. You need to feel safe. You need to be funny. You need to be tall enough. You need to be strong enough. You need to be a leader. You need to be emotionally intelligent. The list can go.
Yeah.
With a lot of guys that are very simple, they're just like hot. Don't get me wrong, an attractive man can be way more picky. But some guys, you've seen it before. Some guys will be with an OnlyFans girl because she's hot.
Yeah, I've seen
And
it on
nothing else.
Instagram.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and they talk like they like pull it up as an awesome thing. Like I'm with this hot chick that only wants my money, and they play on it. I'm like, that's so sad.
So embarrassing. But sorry, anyway, you were saying so surface level, yeah.
Oh, I was saying, so they were saying, there's just a lot of women that are attractive.
Yeah,
and I was like, well, that's fine. Like, I don't really, I don't go into, I don't compare myself. And then they were like, what else? They just said, oh, like culturally, some things that I probably won't say. And I was like, okay, interesting. So then I started dating and I went on the apps and I got catfish. So then I deleted the app. And
what was the catfish? Was he smaller? Was it not him?
Yeah, so wore sunnies and a fucking hat, like we're going to Cuba look.
Oh, well, it's like Federa.
Was chubby.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm into my health. So, like, if I see someone that's, like, not taking care of themselves, I know our values aren't aligning.
What's your type?
Oh, well, I could say my type, but no, honestly, it's like, I would say, like...
The first time she stumbled.
Someone that's kind.
Oh, there you go.
No, I mean, they have to align. Like, so for me, I'm very active. I take my health really seriously. What I eat, what I like, that I need to be. I'm not a gym junkie, but I am active. So I do yoga every morning at home, and then I'll go for a walk or train. But I need to move, and I care about what I eat. And so I care about how I look. And same with the guy. They need to
So well groomed, takes care of himself physically. What else?
Like I don't really want to be with someone like that's shorter, too short.
How's you?
168, not that tall.
Okay.
But I don't know. I look taller because of my energy. Someone that's like secure. Yeah, people meet me and they're like, I thought you were gonna be. No, this happens to me all the time. They're like, I thought you would have been so tall, and I'm like, I'm average. I mean, I'm taller than most people, but they were like, I thought you were like 1.8, and I'm like, I wish. But they've got their shit together. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, but do they have to be? Let's admit. So I don't know your level of finances. I don't know if you want to describe that. Are you? So I assume that you're a 6-figure earner.
6.
7. All right, 7-figure earner.
Yeah, like more, but yeah.
Okay, cool. I was just trying to play it down. Okay, I love to hear that. So okay, so you're a 7-figure earner.
Yeah.
8.
Well, I sold my last company that was 8 figures.
Okay. All right, so you're an 8-figure earner. So do you need to be with somebody that's anywhere close to your level of finance? Because you got to accept.
No. So I had an 8-figure. This is what you have to understand. I had 8-figure companies, 7-figure companies.
I understand.
That's the difference between how much you want to pay yourself, because obviously you got tax,
course,
right? So for me, it's like I need to be with someone that is successful in their own field, and I need to be with someone that like cares about their money and their wealth. Like
that's already putting that percentage.
Yeah, I know.
So small. So fine.
Yeah, fine.
Okay, cool.
Because at the end of the day, like if you're that in that percentage, of course, like I've dated in the past. I've dated people that none of that mattered, and you know what happens is it's like, so there's what do you call it? Like I believe if someone's got the motivation and the desire and they work for it, anyone can achieve anything. Like people can become multimillionaires in a couple of years, right? So this is my belief. And I help people do that. I've helped people go from 6 figures to 8 figures very quickly.
But you can have someone that's very, very ambitious and they might not have the systems in place.
That's what I'm saying. So I think that, but you have to have the desire. So someone that wants to be successful and has goals is very different to someone that's already making a shitload and is a fucking arrogant.
No, I get that. I would say most women want someone that's self-made as opposed to a trust fund baby, I like to say.
Yeah. That, and also just like, I think from my experience, like when I was with men that didn't earn, like they didn't have their own business, one, they didn't understand what it was like to have a business and like how you, for me, had to be in different places and so forth, or like why I really loved what I did.
I understand.
You know? So that for me, I realized I need to be with someone that's like a business entrepreneur.
So let me ask you a question. Could you be with someone that earns 6 figures?
Yeah, I don't care about that. Like, because I know.
You just said that you need to be with someone.
Yeah, but okay, this is what you don't understand. I come from a background in money and finances. You can the amount of money you earn is irrelevant with how you spend it.
True.
Okay, so you can meet people that earn 500,000 as a salary and they have nothing. They spend it.
More, yeah.
They spend it. So it's about like priorities, how you do, and then the desire to want to achieve more.
Yeah.
And you don't know what you don't know. So someone that's on 6 figures may not know, like they might be on the cusp of making 7. This is what I'm trying to say. So like for me, money doesn't make you. The person does.
I think the thing though is realistically, like a lot of women won't even say what you said, but they'll be like, I want to go because I'm ambitious. But what I've learned from women is, and this is even situations that I've been on, this is even just watching podcasts myself, is ambition means different things to women. So to some women, it generally just means they've got a desire to have their own business and make more and hustle. Whereas to other women, it could mean that they're already a 7-figure earner, realistically, and they want the guy to come already made, successful, and potentially want to do more. So ambition is a very, very vague term with how it's used, I think, in this sense.
I mean, there's so many other qualities outside of that because, like, you could be with someone that's killing it, who's cheating on you and treats you like shit.
And that's probably going to come more with someone that's more successful.
That's right. And the thing is I'm looking for someone that has done work on themselves, that knows what's important.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, money is the result of passion that comes through the energy of what you put out. It is not what makes you. So if you're driven, if you think you want numbers, like that's not success. For success is doing what you love, loving who you do it with. Mm-hmm. That's 2 of the most important things. And like being at peace.
Okay, cool. So
I just answered a question that you were in.
So age?
Age of what?
Do you want them to be?
Like,
what's the cutoff where?
Oh, like I've realized that I need to drop my age of dating.
I feel like women get to a certain point. I always say this. They get to like late 30s and they're like, I actually don't want to be with someone older, because especially if the woman hasn't got kids or something like that, she doesn't really want that. She doesn't want to be in a family situation like that. She wants to be with someone that travels as well, knows how to have fun, also successful as well.
Prioritizes, like, I don't know, like I've met really successful people and they're like older than me, but they're still hustling like crazy hours, like working till midnight. And I'm like, God, is your whole life about work and accomplishment? Where's the space in between living? I've been on such a big journey, like huge journey in my life, and I should probably be 80 based on the wisdom that I have. I was talking to this older man the other day spiritually. The depth and the things that I went into in my 20s was like, I had a spiritual coach when I was 17. I learned how to meditate when I was 17. So the journey that I've been on is very fast track to like what people go through after 50.
Yeah.
So for me, when I date people after 50 and they haven't even started that, it's very difficult for me to connect because it's like, I'm not here to teach you,
Especially like.
But I find younger people are on that journey already. Mm-hmm. So like, I'm very much into like, and energy and time and freedom. I want to be with people that like goals, priorities, like success, business is crucial, but so is living.
So what's the youngest you would do?
I think age is a number. I'm not going to say. I'm not going to.
Would you date at 25?
Not under 10. Not under 10. No, 10 years gap. Sorry.
Oh, no, that is the extreme.
You need to edit that.
That is the extreme.
Oh, no, like You know, it has to be
That
like
is
no more than I think the
hilarious.
10-year gap. I have dated lower than that once because like that guy I didn't even realize. Like so it was like a 12-year gap. And I realized, yeah. So like I think the guy needs to be over 30 because like you don't really know who you are before that. Definitely for sure. But then it depends on the person because you can date someone that's 45 and they don't even know what spirituality and
Do you have a racial type? You can be honest.
no, but there's certain I'm not gonna say because I think it's racist.
There's not a racist to say that you have a type. You can have a preference.
No, I just know there's certain preferences I won't date.
Well, there's
I'm
preference.
not going to say. I'm seriously not going to say.
Oh.
I'll tell you later off screen.
All right, so that's good. I think I know them.
Yeah.
But okay. Well,
I think it's just cultural difference.
Yeah, no, I hear
you know,
that.
like how you're brought up genetically, all these things are like embedded into you. So genetically embedded into your DNA. Even if you were given freedom, you still have these weird things that you're like think about. You know.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay. We got to the juice. All right, boys. Ayda is single. Just so you know, successful businesswoman, attractive. Just so you know. Right, going back a few steps because we have gone all the way to relationships, and I want to just get through the background so we can get onto the business.
Yeah.
And that's what you mostly want to discuss.
Yeah.
Being honest. So tell me about leaving Iran. What was that like?
So I left when the revolution had already happened. Well, just happened, and my parents, like my brother, my sister, and me, we moved, and like we just left with one suitcase. I was very young, so I don't remember Iran. Like I think I pretend to because I've seen a photo or something, but I don't remember honestly. So I was like 4. Then we moved, and my family had no idea where we were going. Like we didn't speak English. My dad spoke a little bit of English, but like I didn't speak any like English. My mom had no other language except Persian. And we kind of just ended up in like our family, like my cousins and my dad's family, everyone sort of spread. They went to like Paris and Sweden, and you know that would have been awesome. But we ended up in Bangkok in Thailand, and you know looking back, like I was young, but it was like I was constantly put into positions of culture shock. You know, like everything was so different. Like we left Iran with still wearing the hijab, so airport stairs, this like it was just like a lot of like, you know, what's happening? Why are people looking at us? Why is my mom being treated a bit different? So my feelings were connected to how like I would feed off the energy.
It's quite interesting because I won't be listening to the podcast, but Thailand is supposed to be a very Buddhist culture, very, very accepting and stuff like that. So it's interesting that the stairs and stuff were there.
It was the stairs, but Thailand was like massive culture shock because it was so the language was it's quite I don't know, it's kind of like it's very harsh.
Yeah, it is. And
they sound rude when they're talking and stuff. So like when you don't understand, I could see that there was a lot of drama like in the communication with my dad and that. Me and my sister got like kidnapped by one of the store people and taken, and my dad was trying like it was crazy like as kids.
Kidnapped for what?
Just taken, you know, like child, you know, when they take your kids and they sell them off and stuff. I have lots of stories, but I remember my dad like through the markets in Bangkok like running to find like I remember little memories like running and being in a tree. So and so we lived in Bangkok, and then from Bangkok my dad unsafe when you can't communicate, and like Bangkok was so different then. And young family and all that, and me and my sister looked like twins. My mum dresses like twins, very cute little girls. So it was weird. So then
that's so scary.
It's pretty scary. Like so I have a lot of things where I felt really unsafe. And then we moved to Australia. My dad's a structural engineer, very high up in project and civil, major infrastructure. So he got a role in Australia, and then we got our visas and we got citizenship and all that. But when we were in Australia, like there was a lot of like white people. It wasn't like it is now. So like when I would go to the shops with my mom, when we tried to get on buses, you've probably like seen that we would just get kicked off. Like I think, you know, the only other cultures that could resonate with this feeling, because when I hear the black, can I say black?
Yes.
Oh my God. the native,
Oh my days. I'm not a leftist, by the
or
way.
Native Americans, or anyone. Like
Yes.
we would. It was just basically we can't see you.
Can I say black is crazy?
I know. But like the feeling was we don't see you.
Yeah.
You're not even visible. Get out. This is the feeling. And I just had so much sadness and grief because I always felt my mom's pain, you know? And for me, like my mom couldn't speak. So communication for me became like, oh shit, my mom's not educated. I need to be educated.
I was going to say communication from what I picked up was like survival.
Yeah.
That seemed like for you, right?
Yeah. So I don't know about other
Tell
people.
us more about that.
But
people can't resonate to that, I think.
Well, I think one is racial, like, and two is communication. So if you can't speak the language back in the day, people were just rude. They don't want to speak to you, like get out. You know, I think some people witness this in some foreign countries, but it's not as bad, but it was really bad coming from like a Muslim country to a white, Australian country. And it was...
It's around the kind of time of like 9/11 as well.
This is this is like 88. 90s, the 90s. Oh, it was way worse then, way worse then. And then, like we stopped wearing the hijabis and started to integrate in my family, and my dad changed his name, like did everything to assimilate. Yeah. And, I was very young, so I learned to mirror. Yeah. Like that's it. So I tried to learn the slang, because I sound very Australian. But if I hang out with you and you've got an accent, British accent, I'll be British. And give me an hour and I'll start speaking like you. But this is a coping mechanism that you're taught to mirror, to be accepted. To be accepted, you need to communicate. To communicate, I must be educated. Education equals survival. Like far out. Like my mum wasn't educated, so there was all these sacrifices that were made. But my dad was educated and he got more. Like it was easier.
It's very interesting you say that, because I made a video the other day on Somalians and what's happening with Trump and stuff like that. And I was saying that what you guys need to understand is the left thinks everything is Trump's the worst. Yeah. The right thinks everything about Trump is great. And there's actually a middle ground of where both sides are wrong. So like Trump saying Somalian stink doesn't help anybody. And that's not true.
Yeah, because he's just really bad at delivering messages.
Exactly. And that is coming across as racist, right? Yeah. But then there was also like a massive scam, a child scare scam that happened recently. Which involved a lot of Somalians. Have to accept that that's real. Yeah. And then also a lot of people were saying, oh, well, they don't assimilate. Yes, I agree, you have to assimilate. But then if you're also going to treat them like crap and tell them they need to get out of the country and blah, blah, but then you need to go back in history and look at colonization and whatnot. Why do you think they want to leave to the country? Yeah. So there's always two sides of the story.
I mean, there's also the crime, which is really, really bad. Like even in Germany, because Berlin has open borders, the raping and the, that there has to be, this is where you talk about the center. There has to be a level of checking and recommendations or something. Because I'm massive in who are you to tell anyone that's not allowed to come anywhere? Like freedom of rights, right? Mm-hmm. And where these people are coming from with the suffering and what they go through, but it's also crime. Yeah, yeah. So think about who's coming in. So I believe there has to be some, because it's really bad, some of the things that are happening.
Yeah, I'm really against illegal immigration. Yeah. I think that's the one that everybody can agree on. 1 million people came into the UK. UK's got 64 million people. Can't have that happening, right? Yeah. And the checks are so soft. But then, because you obviously want people's... Australia's actually quite good at doing this. So accept only people's best.
Yeah, but Australia's really bad, because what you don't know is they put them on these freaking islands and they're treated and raped and... it's a whole nother story.
And then the whole history of Australia. Yeah. It used to be all English criminals, didn't it?
Yeah, and Aboriginals got completely... I mean, there's a whole thing, but right now,
that's what stopped me going.
No, I mean, it's a beautiful place.
I know.
Beautiful place.
I
what happens
realised
with
I was silly.
Illegal refugees, is they get put on a camp, and there's a whole book on it about a guy that wrote from inside about what was happening. And that was a lot to release. But I interviewed, because I used to work at refugee camps as a volunteer when you can speak another language.
You've done it all.
And the stories of what people will tell you, they're better off being in the country. They don't know when they come.
100%,
Yeah. So there's a lot of unfairness on how they're trying to control, and there's not enough regulation. It's like we're just going to treat these people like slum. But yeah.
It's just it's like what we discussed at the start. Like there's just you can go two ways, right? It's like now it seems in the UK like immigrants are just more protected than the English that gets their back up because they're in these hotels. But then where do you host them?
Yeah.
It's like honestly, I've got mates of mine that come and they're just like moaning and they'll like message me because they know I'm talking about these kind of things.
Yeah.
And they're just so blind to where they've gone wrong, their side's gone wrong. But yeah, it's just a mess, isn't it, really?
Yeah, like at the end of the day, we're all human, and we have to remember the human side of us, and treat people like human and people and souls rather than like all this other stuff.
That's where we go wrong, right? It's like when we see that in, the Israel Hamas war, when you see somebody as less than, you don't mind inhumane things happening to them. And that's where people completely lose themselves. But it's so, we don't realize how many people conform so quickly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's messed up.
Trying to be like a part of something. People feel this disconnection and they get brainwashed into these groups.
Yeah. Facts.
Yes.
So in Australia, you didn't just have the racial element of things being difficult and the communication, how to fit in and learn. Family life was also a bit of a struggle as well.
Yeah. So my dad was a heavy alcoholic, like really bad. And we had a lot of violence at home, a lot of abuse, a lot of trauma from a very young age. To my dad would constantly, my neighbors would call the police would come, my dad would leave. I grew up in safe houses, so we get picked up from school. We would go to these houses. I don't know, like people that don't know what they are. They're like places where when you can't live in your house and it's domestic violence, they put you in these homes till it's safe. It's like a government initiative. So like I never really had that stability of what home safe feels like. So my dad and mum split. My dad, when he told us to finally break, I was like the happiest person ever. Like people think, oh, it was the worst day. I'm like, fuck, the best. I was so, yes, is this for real? Are you never coming back? Thank you. Stay away. Like honestly, and like I'm fully open with my father. Like me and my father I've done a lot of work. I've had these discussions with my dad recently in the last 3 years and told him everything. So it's not like something that I'm not able to talk about. But yeah, it was terrible. And then my dad continued to be an alcoholic all the way until my sister had her first child in her 30s. That's a long, like I was still in my 30s.
Has he ever said why?
Yeah, he has. He has told me why. So he's got his whole story. He's written letters. We've had these discussions.
Amazing.
So I don't have I never actually resented my dad. This is a funny thing. Even through all of it, like he still was an alcoholic till I was in my 30s. And that was very traumatic because like I remember at one time I was in high school and my dad was heavily drunk and he was telling me like he was going to kill him. It's like stuff you don't tell your kids, And, my brother got the worst of it. My brother got the absolute worst of it. My brother got like beatings, like, I told my dad this recently, even as an adult, and I now know the time in which my brother switched. And I'm sat down and I told my dad this, and he can fully understand why my brother has turned out the way he has. Because through my healing, I was able to understand and see and remember the exact moments where no one saved him, And so, so like my dad was a heavy alcoholic, and then, safe houses.
I assume they don't talk.
My mum and dad are like, my dad's apologized to my mum now. Recently, it's crazy, the full circle. My dad doesn't drink anymore, so he stopped drinking. He hasn't drank for more than 10 years. Like he's moved into Buddhism, spirituality, doesn't touch alcohol. So our relationship is like fine. And then my mum met a new partner, and he had a son, an older son, and I was then abused by him. And there was like a specific moment, I was 14, and he used to abuse me a lot. And my mum never believed me because it would be when she was home. And one time they were home and I was upstairs and I was screaming really loud. And then they both came up and I said to my mom, this is what happened. Choose, get this man out of the house. Like
So was this like emotional abuse, physical abuse?
physical and emotional.
Yeah.
And my mum froze. Like my mum was so young, like new country, like I know, but she froze. She didn't
Everything was there
say
before
anything. She
finding
just
that
froze.
Um,
Then I packed my bags and left.
that's so nuts. That
And
is so
then
nuts.
at 16, I became my own legal guardian by the court.
So,
Yeah.
how did all of this shape you
Yeah.
in your young years? There's a lot of turmoil.
I feel like, I don't know, I'm quite spiritual, and I'm like in my older age, I've moved towards more Christianity. But I believe that I have been like blessed. I know it sounds like I've been unblessed, but I've been blessed in the moments that mattered, where I had divine guidance in that moment. Like, can you imagine you're 14, that something says to you, leave.
Yeah.
Just leave.
What it was.
Like, but why would you even have the confidence? Where does that come from? How would I know it would be okay? I'm like freaking on the streets. So how would I be so cool and calm about, I'm confident, I'm strong, I can do this, I'm 14. I look at 14-year-olds, 20-year-olds, and I think, you're so young.
Well, especially in that, after COVID and everything like that.
Oh, like,
they're literally so unconfident.
Yeah.
YouTube, that's all they do. They don't go out and play.
No, they're all at home. And I think to myself, how did I do that? But it was divine guidance that gave me the power and the strength to leave home at that age.
Maybe just those life experiences that you went through when you were younger.
I think
just hardened you.
I think I had so much resilience, but the thing was, at that age, I realized if I stay, I am going to take drugs.
Yeah.
Literally. Like, I was hanging around some really bad people, and it was because I felt we were going through the same thing. So I naturally migrated to people with troubled homes. And
I always find this interesting.
Yeah.
When people always say this, I'm like, where do you find these people? And I can't talk from it because I came from a really good upbringing and stuff like that. But I remember when I used to because where I live in Luton, used to chill with the roadmen, Amanda.
I was.
But still, I wouldn't say like it seemed like people from. Now I look back at it and reflect, you could probably see the odd one and two. But where do people find each other that are like broke?
At the bus stop.
You just see
on the street. Yeah. Like, honestly, you have this thing where you just deeply connect with trauma.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like, I mean, we didn't have we didn't have all the things that you guys like had. I was like much younger.
Yeah.
We had to hang out at bus stops. It's how we hung out. Parties, bus stop, meet at this people, meet here, meet here. And so I was hanging around some really bad people, and I knew, like, and I didn't take drugs, and I was really, really like at this really bad point in my life. Like,
drinking.
I did drink.
Yeah. What was it that stopped you from taking? That's like a natural progression, right?
Well, yeah. So that was the moment I was like, I know I'm meant for more. I knew in my soul, I was born to do some. I just had always, from a very young age, I was very entrepreneurial, like very entrepreneurial, and I was always a star in like, there was people, when I would do anything, even as a child, they would watch, they would listen, and I knew like there was a gift inside me. So it was like, if I don't change this and get out of this environment that's killing me, like it's killing me, I'm going to take drugs and I'm going to commit suicide.
So where were you staying at 14 to 16 to become this guardian?
Sleeping in cars, like friends' cars, like going to a party, sleeping in cars, not coming home, sleeping at friends' houses, sleeping in many.
What was that?
No, I've slept in cars even as an adult. Like,
yeah, but parties, older guys at parties.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Was it unsafe? Yeah, there's heaps of things I could tell you that happened that were really bad, really, really bad.
Yeah.
I was really fucked up, and I think because I was so traumatized, everything bad was familiar. It was only through healing that I had to learn what was right and wrong.
Yeah.
I didn't know. And so that was that whole thing. And even the relationships I was in was just a mirror of my childhood, constant mirrors. And it was just different forms of addictions that I kept dating, all the way up until like very recently.
Really? What addictions?
I've been with people with sex addictions, drug addictions, alcohol addictions.
So when you say like a sex addiction, is that someone that I'm intrigued to know?
I mean, this is really like probably not the identity that I want to associate with.
No, but it's the real
Yeah.
So is that like somebody that needs to have sex with loads of different people, constantly have sex with you? Both probably.
That and no, a sex addict, I would talk from my experience, is someone that has no filter between like a feeling and an action. So it's like you could be at a place, there could be a girl flirting that just goes straight to sex. There's no boundaries. So a person that has a sex addiction doesn't know how to feel anything outside of sex. It's the only time they feel like they're in their body.
Wow.
Yeah. So if someone and I can pick it like that, and I'll just say, sex. Do you ever feel like you're in your body, or you feel like you're always out of your body? And then they're like, yeah, okay. And I go, what's the times that you do sex? Okay.
That is really interesting.
Yeah.
I think you just hear it flung around. You know
sex addict.
There was like a time ages ago where celebrities, mostly men, would get caught cheating. They'd be like, yes. I'm a sex addict. I'm a sex addict. That was the only reason why I cheated on you, babe. I was a sex addict.
I mean,
I remember when that was just getting flung around.
Yeah. But like sex addiction comes from trauma.
Yeah, of course.
And trauma creates addictions, and it's all a way of trying to have control, like feeling a sense of control, right? And so for men, generally, sex addiction is higher because it's like they have like control and power. Yeah. But it's always about embodiment. It's all embodiment. And so it's like teaching them how to feel. That's the only way they feel.
Yeah.
So a lot of men that can't feel, and like they'll be called, what's the other one men get called? They get called like emotionally unavailable. The emotionally unavailable man has trouble feeling their feelings.
Yeah, no.
Because it's scary.
That makes sense.
Because they've had trauma.
But that gets flung around.
Yeah, but they've had trauma. And so emotionally unavailable men who don't know how to feel will sometimes drop into work addiction. But there's different. You'll generally find gambling. It's all of the addictions. And one can lead. So smoking, gambling, shopping is a massive one I see with clients, because obviously being in finance, I deal with men with shopping addictions just as much.
Surely got to be mostly women.
Men have this too. This instant dopamine drops.
Yep.
So it's all dopamine. I mean, we can go on a whole nother episode.
I've studied addiction. I know it pretty well. So. Yeah. You see, it's so interesting that in gambling you see a lot of the same neurotransmitter responses that you do in drugs. People don't even realize that. It's just drugs is illegal, gambling's not. But when you actually look into the biology of it all, it's all a bit nuts, or chemistry, so I say.
Yeah, and it's all linked. It's all linked to trauma.
That's so interesting. So so I guess you kind of explained that the experiences that you had is the reason why you fell into some of those negative relationships. But what was the catalyst to get you away from those relationships? Or, as you said, those have followed you for quite a lot of your adult life, probably into your success. Were you looking for, okay, I'm asking you those different questions. Right, let me change it up a little bit then. Do you think you were looking for somebody subconsciously maybe that has also dealt with a lot of trauma?
I felt like I naturally related more to people with trauma. Yeah, always. Because that's like a safety, right? Like there's a safety in that. But what happened was every time I did work and I healed, I fell into a different type of relationship that showed another part of me. And then another one and another one. But because I have had such a traumatic life, so like this isn't going to be relevant to anyone. I mean, to anyone that's had maybe one or two. But for me, if you knew my whole, because there's so much more to my story, it would make sense why it's happened for so long. And like I've been someone I've worked on myself through like talk therapy, ayahuascas, therapies, breath works, EMDR, like every type of thing you could think about since I was like 14. I've always been working on myself, but there's been so many layers because there's my stuff started from a child, right? And then my stuff goes into like, generational trauma. So I'm healing not mine, my mom's, my dad's, so there's like a lifetime. It's like I'm always going through something, but the relationships, once I healed another component, another one turned up. And then another one turned up.
Where do you feel like you're at now? Do you feel like another one?
No. I'm so good at picking it. I'm so good at picking it now.
But
Like,
let me ask you a question. Would you say that have you got to that point where, okay, you've just done your healing, or would you say that you're at a point where if you spot one little red flag that might actually be fine in the future, you'll be like, "Do you know what?
No.
Nah, we're not having it."
I'm like a very good communicator. Like,
Okay,
that's probably one
nice.
of my top skills. And I believe in honesty. So I will always say, hey, just letting you know, like, that made me feel like this. So, what's going on with you that made, like, I'll give people an opportunity, and it's the reaction in that.
No.
Yeah.
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 Have you ever struggled with self-worth?
Yeah. I think that my whole life, I wouldn't say it's self-worth. My language would be I'm not lovable.
Right.
Yeah, so if we're going into like belief systems, because I've done so much work, my main core thing is I'm not lovable, because the people that should have loved me and chosen me at a very young age didn't. So I'm constantly in this battle of the I'm not lovable. And then I'm not lovable because, there's different layers of self-worth, because that's like the overarching thing of, am I good enough? Am I, all of these different layers. But when you go deeper and deeper and deeper, there's one thing. And for me, it was like, I'm not lovable. So that's been the work that I've been doing to say, I don't need anyone to love me but me. Yeah.
Okay.
And so my work recently has been about diving into, how do I choose me? All of the things I want externally, how do I give it to myself?
Mhm.
And that's like a constant game that I'm playing with myself. It's like, oh, I want this. Okay, how can I do that for myself first?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the goal for you to be with your significant other?
100%. I mean, for me, I'm massive on relationships. The only thing missing, and like you talk about the wheel of life, the component for me, and that was something that you're probably going to ask me, the biggest thing that I've had to give up or not really look at like properly was the relationship side. And it kind of just all happened. But now, like for me, the only thing I want is like the right person to like partnership. We're not meant to be alone.
Agreed.
And I don't want to be like living a life of like, oh, I don't need anyone and all that.
But I like the fact that you're saying that despite going through what you've gone through.
Yeah.
Because you could easily just hate me.
Right? I don't. You know what?
So
I've never ever.
good.
I've been cheated on. I've had the worst things happen. I've never taken a past relationship into a new relationship. And I know a lot of women do that, where they're like, men aren't trustworthy because I've been cheated on. This poor new guy comes in and has to do all this shit to try to prove that, no, like, let people show you who they are.
Yeah.
That's it. So I'm not an insecure person when it comes to a relationship.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. What's your definition of a healthy partner? No, we're going to go into the.
I think I've kind of already said that in this whole video if you rewatch it. But
let's skip past that.
Yeah.
Let's skip past that. Okay, cool. So give me a quick synopsis of what happened between traumatic life. Okay, then get your, going through all these parties, wilding out basically till 16. To then going through dance choreography success, to then going through being money. So we're starting your, I guess,
First business
show.
So I've always been driven by being successful. Okay, so it wasn't I want money, it was I want to be successful. Okay, and I've been entrepreneur. Like my first thing at school was like I made bracelets and sold them at the tuck shop, and I did every possible thing to try to figure out how to make money. And it was always like I would always work out what the bottom and the top was. So like, for example, the dancing career, the fork in the road was like, well, this is the top I can get to. And I'm a hard worker. So like, if you give me a cap, well, that ain't going to work for me. I need to know that the sky's the limit. So in all of those moments, it was like, if anyone gave me a cap, I always went the other path, which is very weird because most people go for stability and security, right?
Yep.
I don't, because I've never had security and stability.
Okay.
I've had instability. So instability and insecurity, like without money, that's not a problem because I will create stability. Mm-hmm. So my childhood was a blessing in the sense that I was able to never have stability. So it's like, what's the man that you should fear the most is the man that's got nothing to lose, right? So that's basically the driver in my life was I never ever had what's the bottom. the bottom I've already been. So it's like not a scary place. So the driver was like wanting to be successful, which came from needing significance, which is another underlying pattern for me that drove me, was the need for significance to matter, you know? If I do all these things, then maybe I'll be lovable. Like, you know, maybe my family will see, you know, so all that. So my first business, I actually worked in wholesale private funding. So we used to get private money, like perpetual ING wholesale, and we used to package it as a white label product, and we used to sell it to market. And I used to teach people, we had like a software, like a CD back in the day, where I used to go around and teach people about money management and how to manage your money. This is like at 19.
I was about to say, where did this all come from?
I was working,
struggling lifestyle, dancing to then.
Okay, so I've always had multiple jobs. Even dancing, I've had like, when I was like 14, my first job was Hungry Jack's. I went into the workforce and tried to make money. 14, I'm earning like $7 an hour saving so I can leave and have my own apartment, like, or rent a room. Yeah. So that's that. Then I had 2 jobs while I'm still at like school. Then I went to uni and I studied business management and majoring in marketing. Okay. I always loved property because when we were younger, Persians, they're either civil engineers or doctors. We had like other people, and one of them was like builders. And I used to see this family that started off building a house, selling it, building duplexes, and they became one of the biggest developers in Australia, which is Sunland Group, was one of the, they're like huge. And they were the people that I grew up with. So I realized and I saw them like go from crap to, oh, nice car, nicer house, nicer house. So that was like, oh, that's how you create, the property's got something to do with this.
That's your inspiration.
Yeah. So then I went in and I wanted to do project marketing. And I went to an interview for this place that was like actually similar to the company I ended up building. Nice. And it was like a cadetship. I had like thousands of interviews, like such an extreme process, down to me and one other guy. And the girl was like, you've got the job. And I was like, okay, can I just ask you a question? She's like, yeah. And I was like, what's the top money that I can earn here? Like, what's the manager's, you know? And she's like, because it was 25K was the income. And she's like,
how does that relate to pounds?
Well, Australian, what's the conversion? Like 2.5 divided by, like, fuck all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like nothing. I mean, we can type it into your converter. 10 grand, nothing. And you're working, they're working. Which is fine. I didn't mind. I could work for free back then. I didn't care. And then I was like, but where do I land? And she said to me back then, like 100, 150. Okay. I just said, no, thank you. Because that's not, you gave me a cap. And there was another role that I was applying for, which was finance. Okay. And this was comms only. This is the one that I ended up doing. And you could earn all this money, like straight away, work, earn. And I was like, yep, taken, done. So that's how I fell into finance. That's how they had the programs, they did the training. And I'm just a very smart person.
I'll ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
I think it's actually going to help a lot of people. So let's say you come out here like most people around my age, and you're really ambitious and whatnot, and you want to do massive things, you want to earn loads of money. In your head, you know, if you got the ambition, you could do it all, which I rate. What would you tell them to do? Because it sounds like something like real estate. Would you tell them to go down that route where it's technically uncapped, but they probably won't earn any money straight away?
I think that everybody's a real estate agent here, okay? And I'm a massive believer there's always business for everyone, but you have to differentiate yourself. So, like, my success in what I ended up doing was relationships. I'm very good at building relationships and caring about people, and that's what got me far. And the thing is people come here, or I'm just going to talk about real estate agents, and all they care about is the number.
Yeah.
Okay. The numbers will come. So like I ended up making my first million when I was 24, but you got to think of how many years I already worked. Okay.
It's big though.
Yeah. But I'd already worked a lot for nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Like I remember the first time I made $5,000 in my business, I was like, celebrate. Yes. I don't even know how that's going to pay the rent, but yes, you know, so like I really built a lot of relationships, and clients and people that I met at the first year of my business are still my clients today.
Nice.
That's a long time. And the thing is some of those people I didn't get paid from. I just became their friend, and they were very high-end brands and stuff. I just said, like, you know, I'll just help you. It's not in your benefit. Don't pay me. I just want to tell you what to do with your bank. Okay. Just became friends. And then 5 years later, they came to me with everything. Okay. So sometimes there's not an instant gratification in building a relationship, but those relationships will completely transform your business because people need to trust. You need to always prove your knowledge. So for me, the thing that needs to differentiate, if you're coming to Dubai or anywhere, like whatever industry you're going in, know your shit.
Yep.
Like, don't think that you can just come in, be a real estate agent like everybody else and just know a product and sell it. There's so much more to real estate than selling the property. You're not selling a property. You're picking what is the problem that someone has with a solution.
Yeah.
And the thing with property is it's a stepping stone.
Sure.
Okay. It's a stepping stone for people. I always find out, where are you trying to go? Okay. And you ask anyone that question and 5 people give you a different answer.
Yeah.
So know where they're trying to land, and then the property then comes after.
Yes,
because it's like a stepping stone. So for me, I feel like being the smartest. So I was very young. I was 19 in rooms of only men. And people would often think that I was the assistant to a friend that was older. Like the people I hung out with were in their 50s. They were all head of bank this, head of this, and head of insurance. And I just knew I needed to know my shit. Yeah. Everything. I thought, like, I have to be the smartest. I have to be the smartest. And I read every magazine. Listened to every Audible. Anything on anything to do with my field, I was the most knowledgeable.
Nice.
And so I think when you're young, you need to be the smartest.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, you used it, I guess, to drive you.
And also you need to care about people and you need to know how to build relationships.
So what was that breakthrough moment that got you to 7 figures?
Diversify. Yeah. So for me, it was like the relationships that I had built, like a massive, strong, loyal customer base. They do whatever you want. And then through the loyalty, you have to listen to the customer. So your customers will always know what's happening before you do with the market. So I was very good at listening to what people said. Hey, you should do this, or the market's doing this. I'm thinking of this, and implementing that into my business. And I did diversification. So at that time, we were doing white label wholesaling products. And then I moved into brokerage, like financial brokerage. Then I offered financial planning. Then I offered, so with the one customer, I was able, once I built trust, I was able to promote different services. Yeah. So what took me to 7 figures was strong core client. And I never the advertising was very minimal. It was just continuing to service the clients, but being able to offer, once you build trust, everything else they need.
Okay. What about the importance of systems to help you scale?
So definitely. When you're starting, you need to put the systems in place when it's just you, as if other people are going to do it. And I think when you're an entrepreneur and you're doing everything, it's really hard to sit down and process that. But there's so many apps that now let you just record the screen and it processes it out for you. So I've got all of that I can share with you, like some of the apps that you can use now to systemize like your processes. You just hit record, it records you doing the task, and it will actually put that into a step-to-step process. So now with AI and technology, it's easier. But we used to use, Word docs with, hyperlinks, and then we moved to Trello boards, which had checklists. And now I'm learning about this, which you can import in. But I try to do everything with systems and processes when you first start. Okay, because you want to be able to find the areas in which you can delegate. If you don't have a system and you hire someone, they're blind. They don't know what they're doing. And then you're going to be a really bad boss, because people need a system and a structure. So systems and processes for sure. And then we also bought, I also bought companies too. So doing a merger into a company and seeing how other people have no systems, no tech, whatever, was really difficult. So also when you're looking at selling, or you want your business to be sellable, your systems and processes and being able to have your business operate without you is what makes the company valuable.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how did you go from finance
to property
to buying businesses?
Yeah. And buying heaps of different stuff. So start off in finance, which is the core. I think that I'm so grateful I started in finance, because having that background in numbers has changed my career. So I was buying a lot of property myself. I bought my first property at 19 and then I kept going. So my clients, who I consider friends most of the time in the end, were like, you're doing really well. What are you doing? You're building this portfolio. Like, can you maybe talk to us about it? And one of the biggest gaps I found when I was going out and seeing people is if people had equity, they were like, yeah, I want to invest. I want a portfolio. I want to do this, but I don't know how.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, there's a gap. So like I said, I've been always really good to listen to enough people that say something. If enough people say something and it makes sense, then I'm going to do it. So then I had so many people saying, can you help me? Can you help me? And then at one point I was like, okay, I'm going to help. I'm going to do it. So then I started doing like buyer agency where I would charge a fee and I would work for the client to find the asset. And then I worked with a company where they built the investment property. So it was like a construction. So I had the whole background in how the whole process works in building. In between this, I'm still going to upskilling. So I've got like multiple degrees. So I did project management as well to understand how a whole project works. And then the name spread. And then what happened was, I think we went into the GFC. It was like 2000 and I don't even know the dates of shit anymore, right? GFC 2008.
Yep.
And a lot of people started struggling in the projects arm. And we were like, our name spread very fast. So I got put in front of some of the biggest developers who were like, really need your help to like move this product. Do you have like, how would we do it? So we just started having meetings with developers on either how to shift their products, like what to design and what not to build, how to like position their pricing differently. And we moved a lot, like within our team, we moved like 55 apartments in a month, like, and we didn't do any advertising. It was just word of mouth. So we built a very strong reputation, and then we created the different business arm, which was the project marketing arm and development advisory. So all that time, I'm building a portfolio though.
How many properties were you buying yourself at this moment of time?
A lot. I would always have something that I was doing off the plan. I was developing. So 2010, first development, 8 units. So like I started buying apartments.
You'd buy.
I developed property.
Developed it.
As well. First property 19, I bought a 1-bedroom off the plan, 235,000. Used the equity, bought another 2-bedroom. Used the equity, bought a crappy house, did a major renovation on it. From there, used the equity, did development. So like, but all the time, I always had one I was doing off the plan. I'm massive on off the plan because it gives you the ability to buy something if you know what you're doing. If you like have my understanding, that's why my clients have killed it. Is it gives you the ability to make money off something very quickly in the market that's increasing, right?
What is it? So I am such a novice when it comes to property. What is the difference between an off plan and
off the plan is when you're buying before it's built.
Oh, okay.
At the plan stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah, there you go. Off the plan.
I never knew that. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay, at the very start.
Yeah.
Start of the project.
So I built my portfolio very fast. Like comparing it to other countries, but in Australia, that's quite a lot. I had 30. At 30, I had 10 million in my portfolio. So that was like quite a lot. And then I've moved a lot. Like I've sold a lot. I mean, right now I've got multiple properties off the plan in different countries. I bought land. I'm doing a rural development now, which is all off the grid stuff in like the mountains. Like, so to me, it's not the number anymore, like of how many I have. It's the quality.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. So I hear people that have got way more properties, and through my career, there's always like 100 properties, or books were like 100 properties in 10 years and stuff. And it's like, you cannot do that easily anymore. Okay. Where are you buying 100 properties in 10 years? What's the value? So I've always been blue chip. So all my clients come to me because we do blue chip. And if you can't afford the blue chip, okay, right now, then you're not buying.
Yeah.
Because that's high risk and lower return.
Yeah.
So everyone's got a different strategy on how they help the clients. This is how we do it because to me, the numbers don't matter. It's the quality of the property.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Energy.
I mean, I can talk about property for hours.
Energy. So have you, when you were going through this phase of, property, equity, did you have much cash flow for your own self?
Yeah. So I was building businesses. And so I'm a big believer in, you're building your business and you're building your wealth outside your business. So with all my clients and the work that I do now, and it's the same with the athletes, because I think athletes are entrepreneurs in their own right. We're all running a race, right? So for entrepreneurs are like athletes, if you think about how much energy we push out every day. But when you're making money, you start to make money. You need to know how to use that money.
100%.
And then you can build wealth in multiple streams.
Yeah.
So that's what I focus on. That's what I've always been really good with my business clients and even people that work. You know, some of my clients came to me and they were earning like 65K. And one of them was earning 65K. She came to me with COVID. And she's like, my job's on the rocks because she worked for like a major web, like a kind of like a advertising company, which is risky, right? And she's like, but I've saved this money. What should I do? And I was like, well, look, if you trust me, like, do you think you could find another job? She's like, yeah. I said, if you think that, then that's fine. So we end up buying something off the plan. She kept renting because she could always downsize the rental, right? And we bought an off the plan. We bought the off the plan for back then it was like $450, okay? And she just sold it 5 years later because her plan was, I want to buy a dream home in Sydney. Can't afford that. It's like millions for where she wants. Okay, well let's do this stepping stone. So we did that. When the property settled, she already had equity. After the property settled 5 years on, and I can tell you now that in that 5 years, she's put no money in because the rent went through the roof as well.
Yeah.
She sold it and she sold it for $980,000. Like that's to market. Took the money, so that's $500,000, and she's now bought a property in Sydney for millions. So you see, some people would say, oh, that's so long to wait for the gold. Mate, no, it's not.
5 years.
Yeah. So the thing is it's not about how much money you earn. It's about knowing where to put it.
Agreed.
Okay. And I said that before as well about the money.
I rate that. If you had to, I know we're going to keep going into some of the things that you're doing now, but if you had to rebuild from zero, what would you do now?
What I'm doing now, because I basically sold all my companies, let go of everything I knew. I sold my finance company in 2023. And then in 2024, I exited and my business partner bought my shares in the business that I had. I sold my car. I sold some properties that I thought I would never sell. Moved to a country I couldn't speak the language, which was Spain. So I really went to ground zero.
Yeah.
And then I had to rebuild what I want to be next. So I let go of a lot of identities that I associated with. And as I went through the healing, I didn't associate with that version of me anymore. And so now I really want to help people like what I'm doing now. Like I've always been creating impact. I've 10 years ago when I hit 30, I went through a bit of like a crisis of what am I doing? What's it for? Went to Africa. We've got schools in Africa. Did a lot of work in Africa and then came back.
Schools in Africa?
Yeah, we had schools in Kenya.
Who's we?
So me and my business partner,
okay.
But more driven by me because I'm much more into like contribution.
Yeah.
There's a foundation called the Edmund Rice Foundation, who's massive in like all the Christian Brothers schools in Australia. They build schools and they have been in Africa around the slums for many, many years. I used to just give them money, okay, as a charity. The CEO became a friend and was like, you need to come.
Yeah.
And business was so busy, and I just never had the time. And then I went through a massive 28. I'm like, what's my life purpose? When you achieve a lot, you kind of like, I'm a bit bored of this. What do I do? And then he was like, you got to come. And he rang my business partner. I was like, she has to come. She's going through this thing. She needs to come.
Yeah.
So I went to Kenya and I worked at the schools. I'm talking the slums. Like I was working in the slums. The most intense time of my life. Like I was in, it's not that I'm not new to like poverty. It was, wow, these people are so happy.
Yeah.
That was the part that I was really, because I've got all this shit and I'm miserable. These people have nothing and they're smiling and they're giving and so that was massively life-changing. That gave me a massive shift to come back and create more impact, give more to the schools, go back. I went 3 times. And that really shifted me in the sense of like, okay, I need to help people for free become more educated, because I learned a lot about education being the gap in the country, the more educated, the more opportunity you had to leave, right?
Yeah.
So then I was like, I need to help more people, younger people get educated. So I started running all these workshops around Australia, teaching people about money and property and how to get in. And those clients, like that young girl, I've had clients come to me in those workshops when they were 14 with their parents, and then I've helped them. And some of these guys earn $500,000 a year now with my help. So like I'm massive on like, if those people show me the drive, like anything's possible. Like I can't give you your drive.
Yeah.
But if you tell me your plan, I'll help you.
Nice.
So yeah, that became a massive shift on giving impact. So for me now, my whole thing is how can I use the knowledge that I have to give it to more people? And I'm in Dubai because it gives me more of a global ability. The more stages, the more talking, the more information, the more podcasts, the more information one person shift. And for me, like that's amazing. And then the transitions for business people to feel like they're the bottleneck and moving, expanding, exiting, what happens when you sell an athlete, making money, what do I do with this money? Now I'm retiring, who am I? I've been through it all. So I think my gift is the journey that I've had to be able to help more people.
Amazing. So obviously there's been a lot of success in here. What would you say has been your biggest financial mistake?
So many. Personal investment, or like I was talking to a guy in the lift today, actually, who was like, oh, I'm doing Forex trading. I was like, oh yeah, I know that. And I said, I do a lot of crypto trading. And he's like, oh, how'd you go with that? I said, I've lost a lot, but I've gained a lot, you know? So every loss is a lesson.
Crypto don't do well.
You and crypto don't do well?
Yeah, my crypto is not doing outside of XRP or my clients. It's just
depends what you're doing, how you're doing it, and everything. Every investment is a long game, and the people that win are willing to wait.
Yeah, I haven't taken any of my money out.
Yeah.
So yeah,
depends.
I'm going through that. Been waiting a long time.
Yeah, like the rugs, but I'm like such a player in any field. So in the money field, no. I knew when I said that, I was like, I better take that back. I play the game. I play the money game well.
Okay.
And so like I have land in the metaverse, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you know, Snoop Dogg's got land near me. Like I'm in the same street as Snoop Dogg. It's pretty fucking cool, right? So I've got like, me, my friend, my business partner, we bought like 4 lots in the metaverse because the future, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm always investing in the future, but it could be a gamble because it could be a rug. And I invest in a lot of altcoins, a lot of high income earning things like yields and this and that. So I've lost a lot in crypto, like a lot more than people could swallow, but I gained. And I learnt my strategy. In 5 years of being in that decentralized, because I have miners, I have everything. Every type of thing, NFTs, like I've done it all, tokenized, learning this, learning that. So I've learnt so much because that's the future. Yeah. Okay. And the blockchain and everything is the future. Decentralized money is the way it works is going to be different. So I believe I also have a huge, like, what do you call it? I need to teach more people about this because so many people don't know. And you know what's going to happen is you're going to have this massive gap in wealth again because everything's going to be decentralized and digital currency, and people are going to not know what the hell happened. So losses, there. Business-wise, I've not lost because if I have an idea and it doesn't work, I shift. Yeah,
you find a solution.
Yeah, or I just don't do it, or I try a different way. Like if you have a core belief that something is what you're supposed to do and it doesn't work the first time, don't give up.
Let me ask you a question then. And you don't actually have to answer this, right?
There's a lot of things I didn't want to answer.
No, you don't want. So for the audience listening to you today, they'll probably be inspired. They'll be like, I want to work with this girl. Yeah. She's gone through it all. She's made all this money for clients. How much does it cost to work with you?
Oh, as a client?
Yeah, as a client.
Yeah, so...
Someone's listening to this now.
Yeah, so I've actually developed different ways people can get my knowledge. So the new website that I've just launched, which is the AM, the AYAM, the I am, which is my name, AY, right? The I am, because I believe like who you are at the core, right? So like it's all doing the core work to build success because energy is everything, right? Money is just a frequency of energy. So when you come from a knowing place that you deserve it, these limiting beliefs, so the iam.com is all about helping people through all different, but coming from that sense. So I have pay what you can models. So the property and the wealth creation is pay what you can. So basically I'm just launching all of this now where you could pay $10 and watch an hour and a half. And this workshop has been the core of how people have transformed into this. Then I have the money. So if you're like, I don't understand finances, how do you like manage cash flow? There's a pay what you can. So I've made them pay what you can so I can help more people. They're the two. So that's the bottom. You could pay $10. That's fine. Okay. The third layer is you can like from those workshops, there's opportunities for like discovery sessions and coaching. And the layer of that, it starts like as an entry point, and then basically there's the higher. But anyone that does any of those workshops will literally, the education and knowledge that you get from them, it's like worth way more. Like I can't even teach you that in one session because it took me an hour and a half to really go into it without someone asking every question.
Okay.
Then, I have a group containers now for my business clients. So I'm taking on 20 clients once a year. That's it. Where I'm going to work one-on-one with them, and I've built an advisory team. So anything I'm not good at, I have the best. Like I've got a girl that's franchised like 55 franchises, and like I'm not an expert. I know about it, but I'm not an expert. Then I've got mergers and acquisitions. I've got an AI tech guy. Like coming into this group container is like extremely amazing.
So how do you differentiate yourself from other people doing the same things? There's a lot of these guys that we see on YouTube constantly.
God, I know. And
it's so easy to come out with a digital product and this and that. We're going to help you with all your leads and you have to give us 10 grand, blah, blah, blah. How do you differentiate yourself from them who also here to be successful in the
Yeah. And you know what? When I was building this, I've had the first time ever I've gone into, what's that syndrome? Where you think something's not good enough.
Yeah. Oh my days.
Oh my God. Yes. First time in my life. I'm like, it's not good enough. This is crap, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no fucking way. What makes it different? I've got 22 years of experience in building, scaling, buying, selling, right? Multiple companies, property, finance, and marketing. I've had companies. So that along with my actual accreditations that I have own, okay, I've actually got study behind me, not just someone that decided that I want to help someone. Like I lost 10 kilos and now I'm a personal trainer kind of thing. Yeah. Like the skills, the knowledge, the life experience. Okay. And I've expanded like I've just done a lot. So I'm someone that's helping you from a done it place, but also that's continuing learning. So the coaches and mentors that I have, they're 10 times more than what you're paying me. Yeah. So I'm giving you that knowledge as well. Yeah. And I'm someone that's expanding and I'm results driven. So I'm not going to ever work with people I know won't make the change. Like to work with me and not do it, you'll be dropped because I'm results driven. I need everyone to succeed. So I think that's my biggest difference. Nice. When I look at the market, there's people that are business coaches that have never even had a business.
What are your non-negotiables then?
For what? The client? They need to know what they want to do. Like I can't tell you your like goal. So if you know what your business is, you have to already be in business at 2 years minimum. Like that to me shows that you're committed to having your own business. The income, like I'm saying 500K to 3 mil in the group container. Anything above that is advisory. So we also go and do like specific advisory, and one-on-one coaching is a different price, but I wanted to make it more affordable. And the only way I could do that is by making it 20 people in a group container. In that group container, you get me, my advisors, you get work that you need to do, you get all the tools, like my toolkit, everything that I'm like saying this, what to use. And I'm holding like 2 retreats a year.
Nice.
On where people can come because I really want to build a proper community. Yeah. It's like all these people in my 20, we're all going to become best friends and we're going to all help each other succeed. And then I want to do like pop-up events. So if I'm in, if I go to London for a client, I'm like, yo, I'm in London, pop up, like let's all go for drinks. I actually really want to help people succeed, but from like a group community.
So they've realistically, to get to that next tier, they have to be performing at a certain level. She said no minimum, no less than 500K.
Look, the only reason I say 500 is because of the cost to do it. But if you are below 500 and you want to come up with the money, because people have money and you want to do it, I'm not going to, the questions and the criteria is going to be based on the person. But you have to be doing it for 2 years. You can't be I can't work with a startup only because a startup doesn't really, it's not going to understand the language as much, but also like the things that you face as a startup is completely different. So I might do like mini courses that are pre-recorded for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of as you explained.
Yeah. Because like I've got to think of the group dynamic as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What attributes do you tend to see in successful people?
Motivation, passion, risk, appetite.
What would you say is the main difference between ambition and someone that's made it?
Ambition, I don't know. What's ambition to you?
Ambition, that's what I'm saying. Ambition to me is ambition is quite vague though.
Motivation is you have to be able, a self-motivated person, you can go, these are the things you need to do, they go do it. That's motivation. That's self-motivation. If you have to constantly remind someone what to do or tell them what to do, that's like they might have the ambition, but they don't have the motivation.
Yeah.
I think ambition is the idea that I want to be like, oh, I want to be a millionaire. Well, the motivation comes from doing.
It's like being inspired. Inspired something quick.
Yeah.
I could be inspired by watching Tyson Fury and then want to go in the ring myself. So actually, me and I'm going to get up
every day, train. Fuck, they train hard.
I think the thing that really stuck out to me that I would definitely take on is the risk factor. I don't think most people are prepared to take the risk. They're prepared to stay comfortable. Yeah. Instead of taking the risk.
That's also the difference between the wealthy and the poor. Mm-hmm. Well, not so much the poor. Let's go the wealthier and the people that aren't as well.
Doing that. Yeah. Doing that. What's the cost of success that nobody prepares for?
Giving up something.
Nice. And what legacy are you trying to build now?
So I built these incredible brands, and when I sold my last company, it was very difficult because that was huge for me, like the brand and the legacy. I thought my sister's kids would work there. If I had kids, they would work there. I never thought I would sell that brand. It was like my baby.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm now really wanting to create a legacy that stands like that. So the way I think of it, like I want to build a brand that like I can have like multiple people be a part of. I'm all about collaboration and like, so I would be happy to have people come in and be a part of the business and have equity, you know, and it's like that kind of legacy where we're all building something. So like, I mean, I haven't found all these people yet, but that's the way I think now. Whereas before it was like, I never want to give anything away. I was very much like building my brands, like outside of me and my business partner, we had so many opportunities and we were just such controlling of the brand. Yeah. Now I'm controlling of the brand and what it stands for, but I really want to build like the legacy so much bigger, like way more. And now with the knowledge I have on how I expanded it nationally and internationally, now I know what to do. Yeah. So many conversations to have. I know.
No, that's amazing. I think what I would say separates you is you can actually tell over the course of the podcast, which has been long, is you generally have a desire to help people. And I think a lot of that probably comes from your background. Yeah. And knowing what it's like to not really have a lot and have everything, then go and help people and see how it is on the reverse end of things and then go back to it. I think that just gives you a life experience that not many people in your position will have.
I think it's super important to put yourself in positions when you do all the time to places where you can rewire that, oh, everything's easy. Go put yourself in a position and help someone that hasn't got anything to remind yourself like what's real. Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. And as we come to a close, is there anything you want to let people know to go check out?
No. So the website, which is theayam.com, that's the new one where you can find the Pay What You Can courses, the coaching, my Instagram, Ayda Shabans. But yeah, the biggest things I'm promoting is like how I can help more people with the Pay What You Can models. which will then also have like, there's a lot of free resources you can download on there as well. And then, yeah, like I'm about to take on my first group container. So I'll start promoting that. So if anyone's interested in working with me in that form, and obviously if anyone else wants to just reach out, they can. Instagram, website.
Exactly. I reached out and I got a response.
I'm very good.
The podcast.
Yes.
She is very, very good.
Yes.
So I can attest for that. But guys, you know where to find her. If you've got the bread, definitely take her up on the course. And even if you don't, you still got the pay-as-you-go model as well, or pay as what you can model, which is, I think, an amazing idea. That's the first time I've ever heard that as well.
Yeah, it's a one-off fee. It's not as you go. It's like pay what you feel you can afford, and then that's it. You just get the course. It's evergreen. You can jump in and out.
There you go. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for
I know
having
you've been
me.
on here longer than you thought
That's
you'd
all right.
be.
I knew I would be.
But I think it's been an amazing conversation, and you've been an amazing guest.
Thank
you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Nice one, guys. Peace out.